In this video, I'm going to show you how to attach movable arms onto an amigurumi. In this case, the Woobles bear pattern. So first things first, you'll want to have completely finished closed arms, ready to go and looking as exactly as you would want it. And then you also need to cut a piece of yarn that's at least, I would say, 5 times the width of where you're going to be attaching the arms, since we are literally going to be putting the yarn back and forth inside the amigurumi multiple times to make it stronger. So for this pattern, I suggest putting the yarn through rounds 22, between rounds 22 and 23. So before we take the trouble of counting that on the bear body, the first step is to put the yarn through one of the arms. And again, you can put this wherever you want, but I like to put it between rounds 2 and 3 because I think that it's more secure if we can grab more stitches and be further into the arm piece. So counting here, that's round 1, this is round 2, this point is between rounds 2 and 3. And then I would suggest grabbing through 2 stitches of the arm. You want to make sure you don't grab too little of the arm because, I personally feel like it means that the arm is going to be secured onto the body with too little surface area. But also you don't want to make it so wide that when the arm is on the bear that people will be able to see how it's connected, because this is essentially what we're going to do with this arm. Alright, so have it span about 2 stitches. Pull the yarn through, leave a yarn tail, I'd say about 6 inches long. You're not going to touch this until the very end when you weave in the yarn tails. Now let's look for where we are going to attach this arm onto the bear. So as I said before, that is somewhere between rounds 22 and 23, although it's up to you wherever you want to place your amigurumi pieces. So let's count quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 1, 2. Alright, I want to attach the arm somewhere in this row. I want it to be a little bit more in the middle of the bear. Maybe right around here is about the middle of the bear. I'm gonna then follow this line to the other side of the bear because I want to put the other arm at exactly the same spot. It's a little bit hard to follow on this bear only because the snout is in the way, but I'm pretty sure it matches up with this line. Alright, now you're going to have to do some squishing to make your needle go that far. Find a spot in between some stitches in that same gap between rounds. Now you're going to pull the needle through. Don't pull so hard that the yarn tail comes out on this other end. You still need to have that yarn tail there. But just pull enough so that, huzzah, this arm is now against the body. Now we're going to get the other arm. We're going to do the same thing that we did with the first arm, which is find the line between rounds 2 and 3, insert the needle so that it goes around 2 stitches or so, pull this yarn through, and now we want the arm again to be right against the body. Now we're going to look for exactly the same hole that we put the needle through to get to this other side. And then we gotta find exactly the same hole on the other side as well. So again, squish your amigurumi until you can find that. Don't worry about the fact that right now the yarn is quite loose and obviously the arms are hanging off the body. We are going to tighten that up. Make sure your yarn's not snagging on anything as well. Alright, again, before you tug too hard, you want to make sure you're not accidentally removing the yarn tail with all this tucking. Now you can just grab onto both pieces of yarn and adjust so that your arms are closer to the body. Alright, so theoretically you could call it quits here and then tie a knot and then weave in the yarn tails, but as you can see, I feel like it's not super secure yet. And especially if a kid is going to get this, I would rather have these arms more tightly onto the bear body than it currently is. So to do that, we are going to basically repeat all that all over again. So we're going to repeat this horizontal stitch in the arm between rounds 2 and 3 in exactly the same spot. Tighten it. And now find exactly the same hole yet again on one side of the bear and then bring it out exactly the same hole on the other side of the bear. Pull it through and see, you can already see how much more secure it looks on this side, which has already 2 rounds of doing this technique. Okay, now we're gonna repeat it on this side as well. And you want to keep putting the needle through exactly the same points, because that way the arm will be able to more freely move, as you ultimately want it to do with this technique. Alright, so I'm just going to do this one last time, so I'm just going to try to find the hole on the side. Alright, there you go. One last time and call it quits, but you're welcome to do this as many times as you would like. The more times you do it, the more firmly attached the arms will be. And then now, the last step is to just tie a knot with these 2 yarn tails. And then weave these yarn tails in. And to do that, again, you're always looking for the same hole that the yarn had come out of. Now just pick an arbitrary spot on some other part of the bear through the stuffing, because your goal is to get this yarn tail stuck inside the stuffing. You can choose to sew in both yarn tails at the same time. What I did here is I only sewed in one of the yarn tails. Either way will work. All you want to make sure that you do is that whatever you choose to do, that you pull on the yarn tail tight enough so that knot that you made disappears on the inside of the amigurumi and doesn't show up on the outside. Then I'm going to pause here, and as you can see, now you've got some super movable arms.